I come from Overwatch. I have a ton more experience there than I do on Team Fortress 2. The only reason I really even know about TF2 is because of the beef that happened between the communities during the peak of Overwatch's popularity. I believe we all know why Overwatch was pretty popular. Despite knowing about it then, I still didn't really look into it because at the time, all my friends all played Overwatch. And at the time, I didn't have a PC that could run it, or games in general. All I had then was a low-end computer that would be used every now and then for YouTube. I do remember installing TF2 on it and trying to play a match. I remember picking Scout, walking out of spawn, then immediately being killed by an enemy Scout, because on my end the computer was so bad that I could only handle a stable and crisp 2 FPS. So on my end it looked like I was watching a PowerPoint rather than playing a game.
朋友是一个坚韧不拔的纪录片，在香港这座城市。
But let's talk about what eventually got me to play TF2. One day I was browsing YouTube when I came across a spy video talking about how bad the Your Eternal Reward was. After I watched that, I went down the spy rabbit hole and talking about his other knives, guns, and tactics to use with each one. Eventually, this made me want to play with the sneaky Frenchman myself, so I installed TF2. Despite uncloaking at inopportune times or being caught in disguise, it was still fun. Eventually, though, I got into a match that had 4 spies. I, not being very good at spy, decided I'll switch off to not further harm my chances of my team winning. I still know very little on how to play soldier or demo effectively, so I decided that the safest bet would be medic, since I wouldn't have to worry about killing people and could just relax in the back line and heal. What I found out while playing is that a lot of what I learned on Mercy could also apply to medic, like avoiding long sightlines. To a sniper, you are top priority because if he takes you out, your team no longer has healing, and is less likely to move on to the objective. So, staying out of their line of sight allows you to not give them that value, and focus on shooting other people on your team. Also, kind of related to the sniper thing, keep moving. If you're moving, you're forcing whoever it is shooting at you to at least put some effort into killing you, and who knows, maybe you'll dodge the shot that would have killed you and allow you to get either to cover or a health pack if you need it. Pocketing someone is useful in some situations, but don't forget about the rest of your team. Take a look around and check if anyone else could use some heals. If someone does, attend to them. If not, go back to pocketing or do something else. Getting tunnel vision as a healer doesn't allow you to maximize your potential, and your scouts or Genjis will thank you. Flankers are a problem for you. If they get the jump on you, you're usually in for a bad time. I would suggest that if a flanker is harassing you in the back, run into your team and hope that someone sees you're in trouble and helps you. Funnily enough, you can't always rely on your teammates to help you because sometimes they'll just be too preoccupied with what they're shooting or just not be aware enough to help. There have been multiple times when I've run into my team for safety, only for my cries for help to go unnoticed. You also have to be prepared to defend yourself as help won't always arrive. Sometimes if you want things done right, you have to do it yourself, so pull out your pistol or your syringe gun and get to blasting.
Oh, 覚悟 I am the Ubermensch!
Oh, you are good.
Merde. Oktoberfest!
Sometimes teammates will die and there's nothing you can do. Sometimes someone walks into a sniper's line of sight and gets their head turned to mush, or maybe somebody gets random critted by a rocket. Either way, don't feel bad about not keeping everyone alive at all times. Sometimes there's just nothing that you can do. Lastly, prioritize yourself over others and know when to retreat. As a healer in both games, you staying alive gives value to your team, and if you die, you can't heal. So if a teammate overextends into a bad position or something just as dumb, and you going to them would also put you at risk, don't be afraid to leave them. Yes, it is your job to heal, but if the person you're going to heal puts you in an unnecessary amount of risk, like running headfirst by themselves into the whole enemy team, just leave them. And see if anyone else on your team needs help. If they manage to survive the ordeal, then good on them, and if they don't, you could have joined them in watching the respawn screen. Also, if you see that a team fight is going bad for your team, don't be afraid to back up or go to spawn and regroup with your respawn team. Now, I don't mean leave immediately if someone on your team dies. What I'm saying is that if people are dying left and right and pretty soon it would just be you and another person, you can and should back up to spawn or a place of safety because you can't heal people if you're dead. But those are the lessons I've learned on Mercy that I've applied to Medic. If you have any insights or tips for me as Medic, I would appreciate it if you left it in the comments, as I'm still learning this game and would like to get better. But anyway, that's all I have for you today, and as always, have a wonderful morning, noon, or night. Goodbye.